Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we got a Laker game coming up right now, 12:30 Pacific time, going up against San Antonio Spurs. This is what I'm expecting to see. Triple overtime. Lakers lose. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, what we have going on right now is THT coming back into the lineup. Um, Starting lineup is going to be changed up for the first time, if I'm not mistaken, in a little bit. So, we'll see how that goes. From what I understand, it's going to be Anthony Davis starting, Carmelo Anthony starting, Taylor Horton Tucker, Avery Bradley, and of course Russell Westbrook. And we'll see what our bench can give us. Obviously, we're still very much undermanned with several guys missing, including Austin Reeves, of course LeBron James. You know what it is. So we'll go out there and give them what we got. This is a young team. Luckily enough for us, Jakob Pertl will not be ready to go just yet. So we'll be having a young guy who's breaking out right now by the name of Eubanks starting at the center for the San Antonio Spurs. They're a young team, man, and they got a lot of athleticism. DeJounte Murray is playing like an all-star right now. Derek White can put a 30-point game together at any moment. Expect him to play very well against the Lakers. Expect it. They got guys like Devin Vassell who's starting to show signs of life. Walker, Lonnie Walker is another young player who's really, really good on the offensive end. They just got a lot of talent. Obviously, Keldon Johnson is one of their star youngsters down there, rebounding the ball like crazy at the small forward, power forward position. Scored the ball a lot. Very physical guy in the paint. Um, they are a good team. So even though their record doesn't show that, they're young, just like a lot of young teams in this league. They're going to bump their head some. They're not going to probably make the playoffs. But understand, they have their core. We've been waiting for San Antonio to have a core, get the rebounding process going for a long time now. And I think they finally gotten some things going that they can be really excited about with the group of guys that they got right now, led by young DeJounte Murray, who I expect to have probably a triple-double tonight. He's very capable of doing that. He's going up against Russell Westbrook. I expect the Lakers are going to, since they're going small, hopefully the pace will be at a pace that we can keep up with, because chances are these kids are going to try to run us out the gym. Yeah, just keep an eye on everybody on that floor, because they have a bunch of young players. Any one of them could show glimpses and be the breakout player of the game. And because we're the Lakers, everybody's going to be giving us their best every night. So expect San Antonio to play their best basketball, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is a game where Anthony Davis should dominate. I mean, there's nothing down there that's going to keep him from dominating out there but himself. At the end of the day, how he's feeling in an early afternoon game, you worry about these games. You hate these games because really it throws athletes out of their routines, having to play these early games. But because you understand they're part of the schedule, maybe they work that into their equation. At this point, a lot of these guys are vets. They know what to expect from these Sunday games, so they come prepared. And I'm hopeful that that's exactly what we'll see tonight. Is just a bunch of veteran players on our squad who will be ready for what it is that comes with these type of games. We gave up a lot of points against a very, very young team in Minnesota. Lost that game in embarrassing fashion. We've lost games to OKC. We've had close games against teams we should not have played close games against as well. And it's hard to not expect more of the same. Russell Westbrook's decision making has continued to be poor. We have tried to do different things to get the ball out of his hands. Maybe more Rondo is the answer. I don't know. Austin Reeves is very much helpful. Unfortunately, he's out. So, it's going to be on Russell Westbrook to continue to just churn away and be himself. Be aggressive, rebound the ball as well as he's been doing. Continue to take that mid-range bank shot that's a rhythm shot for him that he continues to be able to comfortably make. Because that's a good shot for him in the offense. No matter what he's doing, he can get that shot off. So I expect us to continue to try doing things that work for us. And unfortunately, I expect more of the same, and if he keeps his turnovers down, it'll help us. I read somewhere that we're much better when Carmelo Anthony is shooting a certain percentage. So if he's having a hot game, chances are we're going to be doing better. He's kind of cooled off lately. That's to be expected, but we would love for him to rev it back up for tonight. We're going to need his scoring. But THT is going to be the guy that everyone's going to be looking at, obviously, because he's coming back. I don't know what his conditioning is. But being that he's been preparing to get back from a long injury, you would expect that his conditioning should be in tip-top shape. So I'm expecting him to be ready to go. Frank Vogel's throwing him into the fire, obviously, that starting lineup. And we'll see what he has. He's never been a guy, in my opinion, who's been consistent in terms of displaying great stats. That's not THT's development right now. What we've seen from THT is glimpses of a guy who can do great things sporadically here and there. What the Lakers are investing in with THT is his metrics, his extremely long arms, his athleticism, his mechanics, and all the things that he can do naturally. But he still has to figure out how best to be a consistent pro and how best to make his presence known. And he just hasn't played a lot of basketball yet, to be honest with you. He's been on our team for a couple years now, but he's been sitting a lot. And times when we try to give him opportunities, he's unfortunately gotten some injuries and so on and so forth. So I've yet to see THT put together a rhythm. As you guys know, I'm a basketball fan. He's somebody who you will own someday, but he is yet to establish fantasy value at any point in time in his young career. So I don't want people to think that THT, those who are not familiar with him, I don't want them to have expectations that he's going to come out there and give you big stats. That's who he's going to become when he develops, but that's not who he's been up until this point. Now, we've seen him have good games, but it's not like you would think from players of his who have been paid like him or who have been given the type of attention he has. That's not what the Lakers have done here. They've picked up a player that they know they can develop into what it is that they want because he comes with some natural things that most bodies just don't come with. And so because his metrics are so spectacular and because he's already really gifted, you just put him on a team and you trust that you can mold him. So that's what we're going to do. So right now, he's not that guy yet. That's what I'm here to tell you guys. He ain't that guy yet. Now, his breakout is imminent. It's going to happen. Maybe it's this year, maybe it's next year, maybe it's even the year after that. But I'm telling you guys, we're in the very early stages of THT, and I don't expect him to be a high statistical player early. Just like I'm looking at a guy like Jalen Green, for example, as he struggles. Jalen Suggs, for example, as he struggles. Alperen Sengun, as he struggles. Those guys are going to all put it together statistically one day. I look at a guy like Trey Murphy in the Pelicans. He's struggling like crazy. Those guys are all going to be all-stars in my opinion, and THT is going to be amongst those guys. But they have to become who they're going to become. Not everybody hops out and is coming out the gate like Evan Mobley and Scotty. That's just not how that works. And not everybody can do it like Dame, like Donovan, and like some of those guys who out the gate you knew they were stars. No, it takes some guys some time. Sometimes it takes guys even longer than others. I still think a guy like Darius Baisley from OKC is going to be a big-time player one day, but it's going to take some time for those guys to get their progressions going, and THT is one of those. So, yeah, be patient, Laker fans. I think we have a really, really, really good star young player, but it's going to be a progressive thing for him. And just like we watched the young players, we've watched a lot of young players develop, he's yet another one we're just going to watch develop. He's going to bump his head. He's not the most unselfish player yet. He's not the best defensive-minded player yet. None of those things are together for him just yet. So as we throw him out there into the fire, could he struggle? Yeah. Could he play well? Most definitely. It's one of those type of things. But I don't expect any consistency, and I do expect games where his stats are going to be like, what the hell, THT? Because we've already seen that. So that's normal. That's absolutely normal. We saw that with all the young players that have ever played our game. You remember Lonzo. Y'all know who he was as a Laker. Y'all remember Juju when he was a Laker. It's not the guys that we see right now. It's going to take time. So that's what I got, man. Enjoy the Laker game. I'm going to go try to watch as best I can with a link. Possibly. We'll see. But, yeah, man, that's what I got. BDF 44. Thank y'all for watching. Out.